Look at all the planes in the sky. Look at all the planes in the sky. There's not a chemtrail in the sky today. Not one. Look at all of those planes. There's not a single chemtrail in the sky. That's because none of them are intentionally spraying anybody. This is all just regular commercial traffic. This traffic has been going on all morning. In fact, sometimes it's even busier than what you see on the screen. And there's not a chemtrail in the sky today. Just look at this. Just look at this screen. This is a screenshot of the Golden Horseshoe. You can see, I have my cursor, this is the Hamilton area. Here's Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga. Here's Toronto. Toronto. Over here is the Niagara region. There's Grand Island right over here, if you can see my cursor. Buffalo is over here, Buffalo, New York. There's not a chemtrail in the sky today, and yet look at all of these planes. There's a lot of planes. And so I just kind of want to touch on a topic: hypnosis, covert hypnosis. I have proof that hypnosis can make you do severely harmful things, which would make you lose accurate thinking, causing the loss of a critical factor, basically not questioning, making one convinced that doing what they are doing is good and also causing no harm, especially when harm is being done, whether it's severe or in micro amounts. That is still severe even if it's in micro amounts, as it's done repeatedly, day after day, month after month, year after year. In covert hypnosis, the rational mind is taken away, causing those to act carelessly, all the while when they feel they are doing right. But them feeling that they're doing right is just a feeling that they're doing right, not actually knowing that they are doing wrong. And the big kicker is that they don't even notice the effect they have on others or the environment, and they don't care to follow up to see what's really going on, which in effect means that they have a severely impaired feedback system. This is what covert hypnosis does. All of the chemtrails in the sky, those who don't see it or can't do anything about it, their critical factor has been shut off through covert hypnosis. You got to know that. The fact alone of the loss of the critical factor, the loss of questioning, the loss of noticing differences, means that they are in a covert hypnosis state. And like I said, their critical factor is gone. They just feel that they are doing right because they've been made comfortable to do what they're doing. And they use their feelings as a convincer of knowing rather than their knowing of knowing. So just look at the screen again. Plenty of airplanes, plenty of altitudes. Some of them at 34,000 feet, 29,000 feet, 38,000 feet, 37,000 feet, 12,000 feet, 41,000 feet, just look at all of those planes. And today there's not a chemtrail in the sky in Hamilton, Ontario, for which from Toronto you would be able to see it, from Niagara you'd be able to see it, but it's clear. We have almost a blue sky if it's not for the toxins that are in the air from all the other spraying that's been going on, maybe even elsewhere. But there's not a chemtrail in the sky. Look at all of those planes. $30,000 feet. You know, flights are at 30,000 feet. Not a chemtrail in the sky. This is what covert hypnosis does to people. It makes them not see things like the chemtrails that so many people are seeing, and they're having a difficult time reaching those who can't see it, or when they do show the pictures and videos of chemtrails to those who are in some form of a covert hypnotic state, they just kind of let it alone and do nothing and don't understand and don't want anything to do with it because they've been put into a state where the critical factor is gone, where they don't see harm. The blocking of vitamin D is an act of bodily harm. And so the police, the many levels of police, when you tell them that, they'll think you're like, I don't know what, but they don't take it seriously. And you can tell right there that something has gone on with them. They have been covertly put into a hypnotic state where their critical factor is gone. Now, if they're following orders, well, you know, that may be corruption, and, you know, we got to put them in jail or just set them aside so that they don't cause harm through the omission to protect, because it is an omission. But just look at this screen here. There's lots of planes. It's constant. Plane after plane after plane. And yet there's not a chemtrail in the sky today in the Hamilton area, the Southern Ontario area, the Golden Horseshoe. And today is, sorry, it's June the 5th. Today's June the 5th, 2012. Just look at that screen. Look at all of those airplanes. 28,000 feet, 15,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 27,000 feet, 39,000 feet. All of these airplanes, 31,000 feet, 18,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 14,000 feet, 17,000 feet. Not a chemtrail in the sky. June 5th, 2012. Golden Horseshoe. You can see Lake Ontario over here. I don't know if you can see my cursor moving, but here's Lake Ontario. And then over here is Lake Erie. Okay, I'm just gonna expand this out a little bit so you can see where we are on the map. And I just want to say, I think that teachers, police, military, politicians, civil servants, prime ministers, premiers, mayors, media, crown agents, church leaders, they've all been hypnotically and covertly hypnotized. Look at all of these planes. Look at that. Lots of planes in the sky, and not a single chemtrail today. So anybody who says that these long trails that stay and then block vitamin D, which is bodily harm, anybody who says that it's a normal trail, look at all the traffic today. There's not a single chemtrail in the sky right now. It's 10:42 a.m. right now as I speak, June 5th, 2012, and here we have a good part of southern Ontario, southwestern Ontario, and New York State, upper New York State. Look at all of those airplanes. I'm going to expand this out. Back to what I was saying, teachers, police, military, politicians, civil servants, our leaders, mayors, all media, or not all media, much media, and crown agents and church leaders. You are the leader of the status quo by being leaders to ensure that none of this chemtrail information become widespread knowledge. This has led to severe hardships and dumbing down locally and afar. You've been covertly hypnotized where your critical factor is gone. People are going to come after you when they awaken more and more. You're going to have to give up all of your savings and pensions before it's to do restitution and remedy. You have also ensured that most people think that they are lower than the government. You have behaved very badly as servants. Look at this screen. Look at the screen. Look how many planes are in the sky. And there's not a single chemtrail today. What is your excuse when people come up to you and show you chemtrails? You don't have one because you can't see it, because you've been covertly hypnotized. You have been covertly hypnotized. You don't even know it, and you can't be told about it. What we need to do is bring this to the attention of everyone else who is not hypnotized, and just expose this to them so that they can see it and understand it immediately, and then basically set everyone aside who has been covertly hypnotized and stop the chemtrails. This is crazy, the chemtrails. There's none in the sky today. Look at all the traffic on the screen. Just look at all of the planes. Just look. So as you're looking at this screen, you can see many flights going in and out of Toronto, as well as the very, very many other flights that are not related to Toronto, but are also, some of them are local and many of them are not. The Hamilton area, and I'm sure Toronto too, seeing a lot of flight traffic, and yet not one chemtrail in the sky. Look at this, a lot of flight traffic with not one chemtrail in the sky. We're talking about 30,000 feet flights, 39,000, 33,000, 37,000, 24,000, 30,500, 36,000, 31,000, 34,000, all at high altitudes, not a single chemtrail in the sky. This is June 5th, 2012. Anybody who tells you that these chemtrails are normal, there's something wrong with them. They've been covertly hypnotized and they don't know it, and you can't tell them. Because what covert hypnosis people who do this to others do is they make it so that you can never reach them. There's a term for it and I just don't remember what it's called. But basically, you'll never be able to get them out of it. It's very, very difficult. Just look at all of those airplanes. And today in Hamilton area, Southern Ontario, not a single chemtrail in the sky. Look at all that traffic going to and from Toronto, as well as passing by. Look at all of those airplanes. You would think that there was no airplanes flying because there's no chemtrails. There's lots of airplanes flying. There's no chemtrails. Way too many people have been covertly hypnotized against their wishes. Some of these planes, like the one that's going to Miami, flew right over my house. And right now it's at 38,000 feet. But when it flew over my house, it was at maybe between 10 and 20,000 feet. But still, there's not a chemtrail in the sky today, and there's lots of planes. I'm just going to run this a little longer here just so you can see that there's constant air traffic in and out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as well as across from the Niagara to the Hamilton corridor. There's not a chemtrail in the sky today. Plenty of flights all morning long. Various altitudes, 27,000 feet, 34,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 39,000 feet, 36,000 feet, 34,000 feet, 36,000 feet, 10,800 feet, 14,700 feet, 34,000 feet, 36,000 feet, 21,500 feet. Various altitudes, 11,100 feet, and not a chemtrail in the sky. Tuesday, June 5th, 2012, 11:40 a.m. I'll be posting some pictures along with this video, and I may even intersplice it, interplace it, whatever. So anybody, if you report to the cops, police of any level, or even military, there's no way they can deny, that chemtrails are being intentionally done on us. They're just hypnotized covertly. When you covertly hypnotize somebody, they don't know it, and often they can't get out of it. It's often the one who puts them in hypnosis that will be the one who can get them out of it. If you're dealing with somebody that has no comprehension or understanding of this here, just don't bother with them anymore. You're going to waste your time because they've been deeply embedded with information which has a fear factor to it. Intimidation and nuisance is part of it. Intimidation is 243 of the criminal code. They've either been intimidated, and some of them are intimidating the public. Nuisance, you look up nuisance, 180 of the criminal code, you'll see that many statutory officers, like police officers and others, and maybe even military, I'm not sure, they're performing or doing nuisance, which is a criminal code offense. I urge everyone to look up the Canadian Criminal Code 467.11. Anybody who's blocking vitamin D, and they're doing it intentionally, as you can see today, there's no chemtrails in the sky with all of this traffic. Anybody who's blocking vitamin D is a criminal organization, because that's blocking vitamin D is bodily harm. So they're harming the public, they're harming vegetation, they're harming crops, so it's property damage as well. Look up 467.11 of the Canadian Criminal Code. Look up 243, intimidation of the Canadian Criminal Code, and look up 180 of the Canadian Criminal Code, nuisance. We gotta start looking at these laws and protecting ourselves. Okay, well, I'm gonna shut this part down, and maybe I'll put together some video.